and welcome back to another video. It has been a minute, you guys. I was taking a bit of a break in December. I took on way too many craft projects for gifts and lesson learned to take on a lot less and buy a few more. But here we are, it's a fresh new year and I am delighted to share with you my spread for 2021. This year we're keeping it simple, elegant, and bold with black, gold, and white. Those are the only colors I'll be using, and I'm really happy with the choice that I went with. So 2021 is spelled out on our cover page here in this bold serif font that I went with for this spread. And it's just a lot of me writing out these beautiful letters and then coloring them in either black or gold. So for my cover page, I wanted to keep it really simple. I wanted to write out 2021 and just let it speak for itself. I love the negative space here. It makes me really happy. Sometimes I get too many ideas and I decide to go with too many of them and end up overdoing it. And so this was a challenge for me in trusting my instinct and letting the negative space speak for itself, leaving things as they are instead of adding too much. And I'm so happy. This year, if you've noticed, I also have a brand new journal. Of course, it's a new year, new journal, but a new and different journal for me. I went with a B5 Archer and Olive, which is the first time for me using both the B5 size and an Archer and Olive, and zero regrets on both of those decisions. Last year, I went with a journal that was slightly larger than an A5, and I'm really excited to be going with a bigger journal this year. It speaks to me. I already feel like it was the best choice I made. And Archer and Olive is all the rage on Instagram and YouTube, so I was very excited to try them out. They are worth all the hype. Here you see me go in with my white Uniball gel pen to correct a small mistake. In case you're wondering, I do make a lot of those. And this white gel pen is like the perfect whiteout on this paper because it's pure white. Okay, on the second spread, I'm doing my grid spacing cheat sheet, which I first saw Amanda Rach Lee do, but I believe she credits someone else. So I'm going to leave a link to the video that she made explaining this whole concept. But it's pretty self-explanatory, especially because I'm using a new size journal this year. It's going to be really important for me to have this kind of as reference anytime I'm making a weekly spread or some new kind of unique spread where I need to divide things into columns or rows, counting out my lines ahead of time so that I know how many lines, each column gets if I'm doing a total of 6 or 4 or whatever. That's kind of the purpose of the grid spacing cheat sheet. Keeping it very simple with my lines all black, and again this bold serif font at the bottom in all black. I added a little banner for spacing because I really just wanted to focus on the word grid. On to the next page is where I'll be doing my key spread. Very simple. I really don't need a full page for this spread, but I really like using the negative space for my 2021 setup, and I honestly wouldn't want it sharing a page with anything else. So I just decided to put all of my headings in the top right or top left corners and the key right in the center. If you want to know more about using a key or making spreads in a bullet journal, definitely read Ryder Carroll's book on the bullet journaling method. He is the one who invented the method, the creator, mastermind of it all. And I believe when his method began, it was certainly not intended to be quite as artsy, but the beauty of a bullet journal is that it is whatever is best suited to your needs. On to the next spread, we're doing my 2021 at a glance. This one and the future log are always the most tedious to make because you've got to write out every single one of the months in each year, which is 12, and it takes a while. I did purchase stamps a while back that have all the months for you, but I don't like that it's not even spacing with like a number in each box. So I end up hand doing it anyway because I'm that crazy. Plus the stamps kind of are hard to manage and sometimes they slip, and it just kind of ends up being a big mess. And basically I need better stamps is what I'm saying. So for now I just hand write it and it's fine. It's not the best, but it's fine. I actually end up going back and fixing January because I forgot to add the days of the week at the top. As you can see, I'm doing that right now for the other 11 months, but it's an easy fix. I just cut out a little piece of paper from the back and glue it over January, and it's like it never happened. So don't be afraid to mess up in your bullet journal. You can always glue 2 pages together if it's a whole wash, or just glue a tiny little piece of paper on top and it's okay. On the right side is my quote for the year, faith over fear. I'm turning 30 this year, and just after everything that happened in 2020, I really want to be constantly reminded to choose faith, choose trust in myself over any self-centered fears that may inhibit me from taking action. That sounds like really loaded and deep, but put simply, I am the kind of person who freezes when she's scared. I will procrastinate out of fear, or I'll make up excuses and get distracted with other things if I'm scared, and I don't want to do that anymore. I've really been working hard to push through my fears and take more action in my life, and I really want that to be what I take into 2021, especially going into my 30s. I want to really reach, that like ideal version of me, and have more courage. So I kept it really simple. Faith is in gold to emphasize the fact that that is what I'm choosing over fear. And I added a very simple, bold border to kind of help the page stand out. And I end up going back and doing this on my other spreads. I love this because it keeps the negative space, but it just adds like a little pop of something. It looks so good, and I'm so glad that I went with this choice. So for the key, everything's in black, so I added a gold border, and I did that for a couple other pages as well. As you saw, I filled in faith in gold, and I'm going to fill in a couple other large spaces in gold. For this, I used my gold ink, which I find is a lot better than gold metallic watercolor, which a lot of people use. It dries a lot more quickly, and the gold metallic sheen is like beautiful and a lot more potent than the watercolor. I'll link which ink I use below. Going into the next spread is my future log. Similar to my 2021 at a glance, I did the black kind of little label look for each title of the month and wrote over in white. Future log is in a bold gold font. As you can see, I'm filling it in with my little brush and my ink. It dries so fast, which is my favorite part. I don't have to wait as long as I would with watercolor. And then I add just like a little gold accent on each month as well, with a gold line underneath the days of the week. And for the most tedious part is filling in all the days for all the months. My favorite thing to do is to write a column for one like section in each month. I usually go with one, so like 1, 8, 15. And that way it's a lot easier to stay on track and not accidentally skip a day, which used to happen before I did this. Okay, moving into my favorite spread of this setup, it is my vision board. I am gonna do a very simple black bold lettering and a black border because the center of the vision board is gonna have pictures and little doodles and stuff. So I wanted to keep everything else really simple, not as much gold here. I wanted to make a vision board last year, but I didn't think about it until about halfway through the year, and by then everything was kind of going to hell. So I saved it until this year, and I'm so glad I did because the B5 is so big and it gives me so much more space. I left a little bit extra space to add on. This will be the last spread you'll see me build at the very end of the video, and it is by far my favorite one in this whole setup. And the last spread you'll see me do is really, like, you're not going to see a lot of it because I'm going to keep it mostly to myself, but it's my 30 things that I want to do this year since I'm turning 30. It's not going to be before 30 because my birthday's in February. And then a goals sheet, which I decided to do a little differently this year. So the goals is going to be on one side less and on the other side more. If you can see, I have a line down the middle. So it'll be like a very targeted habit or characteristic that I, have that I want to let go of. And the more on the right will be how I can replace it. So like less procrastination and more action or more courage, something like that. But it'll be really specific. And I like that I did it this way because it's also more positive and proactive instead of just saying like, I want to stop doing this, or, I want to lose 3 pounds or whatever. It's like, this is exactly what I'm going to do to change it. And on the left, you just see me numbering out every single one of the bucket list items and adding a little border. You're not going to see how I'm going to fill it in because, like I said, I want to keep it more personal and to myself, but you can easily recreate this for yourself and do your own thing, 30 things that you want to do this year if you're turning 30 like me, or maybe you're a baby and it's 20, whatever it is. So now I'm just cleaning up a few things here before I move on to the final vision spread. I'm adding a gold border to my cover page since the letters are in black, and I'm so happy I did this. Like I said before, it keeps the negative space intact and it doesn't like ruin the simplicity of the spread. It just adds a touch of elegance with, the little border. And like I said, this ink makes it so easy. It dries so quickly and it leaves such a beautiful color at the end. now the last spread is filling in my vision board. I wanted to maintain the integrity of the theme for this year, which was, keeping it simple and elegant. So I chose this brown craft paper as my backdrop. Just kind of cut out into different rectangular shapes, glued it down. I have to use regular Elmer's glue because I ran out of my Tombow adhesive tape, which is my favorite. So when I grab some Uniball gel pens, I'm going to grab some more of that. And then I printed out some pictures on just regular cardstock paper that symbolize, what vision I'm taking into 2021 as far as style goes, my adventure travel plans, and creating and health fitness plans as well. I couldn't help myself. I had to organize them into little mini collages. So all the travel stuff went on the top left, style stuff went on the top right, creative stuff went on the bottom left, and then health stuff went on the bottom right. So these are just images that speak to what I want to continue doing or maybe do more of or try for the first time. I really want to refine my style. This year I let 2020 get to me and mostly lived in big t-shirts and leggings, and 2021 will be the year where I take it to the next level. So those are some pictures that inspire kind of the style that I'm going for. I want to take a couple road trips this year, so I want to go camping. Those pictures on the left will kind of speak to that. I want to write more and take even more photographs this year. I've got some reading goals set in place. I want to get back into yoga. I've got a little Whitney Simmons pick because I want to do more weightlifting, and I also love the positivity that she brings and energy that she brings into her audience, and I want more of that too. Finally, I created these little black labels. They're really just little black pieces of cutout paper that I pasted on here to add some words that speak to each one of my little mini collages. So create more, explore more, confidence that comes with, looking good, feeling good, taking care of myself, and strength that comes from that as well. And there you go. That's my vision board for now. I think I'm going to add a couple more things, but for the most part, it's all done. And there you have it, folks. That brings my 2021 spread to a close. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Here's the final walkthrough. I am personally so happy. This is my favorite spread collection that I've done since I started bullet journaling. I think I've finally kind of refined my style, and I'm so excited for what this year will bring. Be sure to leave me a comment, let me know what you liked best. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss more bullet journaling content with me this year. Until the next one, I'll see you then. Bye.